Hello and welcome. Here we have the Translink iPad application. You install it from the App Store and it creates a little icon like this. You launch the icon. The program will initially try and connect to the last Translink that it was connected to. So in this case it's connected to the beach house. It's showing you that the outside lights, the garage lights are off. You can just stroke the screen and go between the pages. There's also a pages button at the top you can press, and that will bring a number of, you can flick to the page that you want. Also, if you turn it portrait, the pages get listed down the side so that you can just click on the page that you would like, or you can still scroll through them and the page moves. So, the first thing you generally do is you configure the pages, etc. that you would like to have. So if we click on the settings icon, you can have a number of Translink devices on this application. So you could have one, say, at the home, one at your beach house, one at your office, and you can connect to them all using the same application. You can add a new device there if you want to add a new one. So if I go into, say, the office configuration, the number of things that you'd need to put in, that's like the name, the serial number of the Translink device, the PIN number, which is like the password for the device, and 2 connection addresses. Now these connection addresses are normally, connection 1 address is normally the Wi-Fi connection, so that you can connect within your office via the Wi-Fi connection. The second connection is normally your internet connection, so that might be through your router via a dynamic DNS address. So in this case, on the network, 10.1.1.1 is the IP address of the Translink device, but on the internet, on connection 2, it's office@dynedns.org, and both connect on port, in this case, 10,003. You don't need both connections, but the way it works is that it will try connection 1 first. If that fails, it will then try connection 2. If we, say, connect now to the beach house, it has now got the status, as you can see by the little green traffic light. We go into settings. We can then go in and edit the various pages that we might like from this beach house. Down the side are all the available objects. These are all the group address names out of your XML file in the toolkit file. They are loaded into the Translink and they are sent up to the iPad application. So you don't have to enter any of these names. They're all there pre-populated from the Translink application. Generally, the installer would have loaded those into the application and then they would load up into here. On this side are your groups. So you'd have in this side we've got the outside, we've got the bathroom and the kitchen. We can change between an on-off or a slider by just clicking here, or we can click here, change the icon, if it was, say, a chandelier or maybe it was a spotlight. You can also, if you don't like the order, click here and move them around, or you might decide, okay, I would like this one to be in this group, and you can just drag it down and move it in. You might decide then that you don't want that one altogether. You can just click on the delete and remove it. And the other thing you can do is you can use these arrows on the side to resort the entire list. So let's say we want to add a new group for the garage. We'd go here, we'd find the garage light, there it is. We'd drag them up to the new group and it would create new garden lights. Then we want the garage light with that one, and we drag it into the same group. We would then click here, type garage. Done, and we now would have a new group for the garage. We might want to change the garage light to, that's a dimmer, and we might change these are both, that one's a down light, and the garden lights little spotlight. We then press back, it will now reread the connection, get the current status from the connection. As you can see here, it shows you that it's currently connected. We press done up here, and now it's connected with these new pages. So if we look in here, we should now be able to find, there it is, the garage one. And we can press here to turn it on or off, or here we can ramp it with a dimmer. You can also, with the dimmers, show the ramping rate. So you might say, I want to make it bright but over 12 seconds. So you could go here and say, I want it to go to 100% brightness, but it's going to now do that over 12 seconds. Or you might say, okay, I'm going to bed now. I want it to take 30 seconds. 20 seconds there, 30 seconds. No, I can't see it. 40 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds there, that'll do. 40 seconds to turn off as I go to bed. So then I just ramp it down to 0, and the light will now turn off to 0 over 40 seconds. Now, if you, on your iPad, you rotate it to the portrait orientation and it spins, what will happen then is the pages will automatically appear down the side. So as you flick between the pages, you get the pages down the side, or you can quickly navigate to those individual pages. It makes it a bit quicker to navigate around when it's in the portrait, but when it's in the landscape, the pages disappears, but you've always got it at the top. You can just bring it on or bring it off as required. If we go back to, say, a larger installation, we'll go to this house. This house has got over 100 CBus devices and I think around 150 group addresses. So it's quite a big installation. It takes a bit longer to get the status. But in this particular house, as I'll show you, if we go in there, there's a lot more group addresses. So if we go through here, you can see that there's, you know, over 150, I think it's 200 group addresses in this house that you could then select from. And then in here, we have a lot more. You know, you've got the office, the lounge, the front doors, the garden, the garage. In this case, you can lock the garage with a CBus command, unlock the garage, open the back door, open the front door, turn the carport lights on, fountains, look at the tank levels, turn sprinklers on and off. They've even got the Christmas lights. You can turn the Christmas lights on and off within your iPad application. So if we go back and then show what that looks like in the actual application running, it loads the configuration, gets the status, we press done. We then have all those pages from that particular house all easy to navigate to, or you press the pages and you've got the various pages that you'd like to take to, or we go to the portrait and you can go through them one at a time. Now this application is also a mobile phone or an iPhone application. It's a universal app, so if we had an iPhone, in this case an iPhone 5, same icon, click on that, this will connect to the same house, but this time over the iPhone. It's a smaller screen, but you still get the same functionality. So in this case, you might want to open the front garage door, lock the garage door. So if we press that, we've now locked the garage door, press that, it's now unlocked. Might want to unlock the side gates from your phone when you're outside. This also has the pages, so you can go through, get the various pages. In this case, you might want to look at, say, the irrigation. You might want to turn the tank on, the mains water, irrigation of the road lawn, front lawn, driveway, all those sorts of things. You can turn them on manually if you were outside wanting to water the garden. This also works in the portrait location as well, but in this case, you still use the pages button at the top to get to quick access to a particular page. It still has full editing functionality, the same as the iPad app. You can still go in, edit all the group addresses as before. In this case, in this particular instance, there's a lot of them. Also, over here is where you set up all the various pages that you've set up for your particular application. Now, currently, everybody who connects can have their own settings. So if your wife has one phone, she might only have a couple of settings that she uses all the time. The husband might have another phone with his settings. The kids might have another phone with their rooms, etc. So you could then also again have on here the home, the beach house, and the other devices. So that's a quick overview of how the iPad and iPhone applications work. And also it would run on an iPod or an iPhone 4. All the screen sizes and retina displays are supported.